All I did was turn a key in a lock that rightfully belonged to me. But in the twisted world of suburban egos, that simple action triggered police sirens, threats of lawsuits, and the towering 6-foot steel fence that appeared overnight, cutting off the only path to my own property. At first, I thought it was a mistake, maybe an overzealous contractor gone too far. But the moment I saw Marissa Hawthorne's cold, calculated smile, the one that never reached her eyes, I realized this wasn't an accident. It was a warning. Get off the land I had just bought. And the scariest part, it wasn't the fence. It was discovering just how far some people will go to erase someone from a place they believe doesn't belong to them. Before I dive into the fence saga, you need to understand how a delivery guy ended up at war with one of the wealthiest women in Brookhaven Estates. My name's Logan, and for the past 3 years, I've been the guy delivering packages, letters, and late bills to every house in this neighborhood. Before this, I was stuck in the corporate grind, working in real estate, wearing suits that felt like chains, chasing deals that never filled the emptiness inside. I quit, took a massive pay cut, and started walking a postal route. And I loved it. Being a mailman made me invisible in the best way, able to witness people's lives in small, meaningful ways. Mrs. Carlton on Maple Avenue always had lemonade ready in the summer, while Mr. Jennings, a retired carpenter, shoveled every driveway on my route before I even started. I felt like a thread in the fabric of this community, even though I didn't live here, until Marissa Hawthorne showed up. Marissa moved into the grand estate atop the hill, the kind that looks down on everyone else like a fortress. Driving a pristine white SUV that probably never saw a speck of dust, she was sharp, mid-40s, always in power suits, clutching a clipboard like a weapon. Her presence changed the vibe instantly. Friendly hellos disappeared, replaced by tense, cautious nods. She got herself elected to the HOA board within weeks, and suddenly, neighbors lived in fear of violations and fines. She also made me her personal target. At first, it was little jabs. "Logan, that uniform should be pressed," or "Don't cut across the grass, we have standards here." It was humiliating but bearable, until the Miller lot came along. Arthur Miller was an 82-year-old retiree living at the edge of the community by the lake. He was grumpy to most, but he liked me because I always delivered his mail directly to his door. One afternoon, he told me he was moving to a retirement home and wanted to sell a small, oddly shaped plot of land, the Miller lot. "It's not for building a house," he said, shaking as he signed for a package, "but it has something special. A key to the old iron gate by the lake. Someone who appreciates the quiet should have it. I think that's you, Logan." I drained my savings and bought it. I imagined a little bench, a fishing shed, a peaceful sanctuary for my walks. But Saturday morning, coffee in hand, I arrived at my new property and froze. A massive steel fence had been installed overnight, blocking the gate completely. And standing there, triumphant, was Marissa Hawthorne herself. "That fence isn't yours to cross," she said, arms folded, smug. "Yes, it is," I replied, holding up the deed. "I bought this lot, closed yesterday. This key is mine." She laughed, a dry, dismissive sound. "Do you really think a piece of paper matters? The HOA has authority here. Police are on their way." 5 minutes later, 2 cruisers arrived. I braced for the worst, but it was Officer Lane and Officer Rodriguez, neighbors, familiar faces. They examined the deed, the fence, and then Marissa. "This fence blocks your property," Officer Rodriguez said. "It's illegal. You're not trespassing." Marissa's composure cracked, revealing something desperate beneath the veneer. "You don't belong here," she hissed. "I'll bury you in legal fees." But support came from unexpected places. Neighbors emailed and called in, defending me, questioning Marissa's motives. Her power depended on fear, but I had connection. With my brother, an environmental lawyer, guiding me, I investigated the Miller lot. It wasn't just rocks and weeds, it was the official access point to a protected conservation easement. Blocking it would violate federal environmental laws and cause Marissa's massive estate to lose tax exemptions. The next weekend, I organized a community meeting at the lake. 50 neighbors attended. I shared the conservation documents exposing the HOA's illegal fence and Marissa's attempt to hide the truth. A county official confirmed it. The fence violated environmental laws and fines were issued retroactively. Marissa had no allies. She resigned from the board and put her estate on the market within days. 2 weeks later, the fence came down. I placed a small wooden sign. The Miller Path open to all. Please close the gate behind you. Now, when I deliver mail, the neighborhood is lighter. Kids fish by the lake, couples sit on the bench, and people wave freely. Marissa thought power came from exclusion, but real power comes from stewardship and connection. Sometimes the smallest key opens the biggest doors, and in the end, it wasn't about land or fences. It was about doing what's right. So, what would you have done in my shoes? Walked away under pressure or stood your ground? Let me know in the comments. I read every one, usually while sitting by the lake enjoying the peace I fought for.